Sri Sailesha Dayabatram, Dibhaktadi Gunarnavam, Yatindra Pravanam Bande, Ramyacha Mataram Munim, Lakshminada Samarambham, Nathayamana Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Pariyandham, Vande Guruparam Yonityam Achyudapadam, Bhujayukma Rukma, Vyamohadastathitarani Trinayamene, Asmadgurur Bhagavatosya Dhayeka Santoho, Ramanujasya Charanau, Sharanam Pravatye. Mata Pita Yuvadayas Dhanaya Vibodhi Sarvam Yadeva Niyamena Matanmayanam Atyasya Nakholapader Vakalaviramam Srimat Tadangriyohalam Pranamami Murdhana Bodham Sarascha Mahadahvaya Bhattanada Shri Bhaktisara Kulasekara Yogi Vahan Bhaktangrirenu Parakala Yatintara Mishran Srimat Parangushamanim Pranatosmi Nityam Annavayal Buduvai Andal Arangarku Pannu Thiruppavai Palpatiyam Innisayal Padik Koduttal Narpamaalai பூமாலை சூடி கொடுத்தாளை சொல்லு. Namaskaram to all. Continuing our journey on Thiruppavai. Today we are going to see the 7th Pashuram of Thiruppavai. The previous Pashuram, the first of the waking up of all her friends. The first girl was woken up by Andal. She praised about Embaraman, Shivan Narayanan, and she was also telling the reasons why we should go and chant his Tirunamam of Hari. And now along with this first friend, she is going to the next friend's house and she is going to wake up the next friend. And in each of these Pashurams, each of those friends, she will give the greatness of them also as part of that, which is one of the great characteristics of praising the other devotees. And that is what our Andal is doing here through these Pashurams. Let us do the Anusanthanam of this Pashuram and then look at the meaning of this Pashuram. Kisi Kishendrangum Anai Chatan, Kalandu Peshana Pecharavam Ketalayo Pepane, Kasum Pirappum Kalakalappa Kaipet, Vasanarungula Lachir, Matinal Vosipadatta Tairaravam Getalayo, Nayaha Penpallai, Narayanan Murti, Keshavanai, Padavum Ni Kete Kitateo, Deshamadayai, Thiruppavai Upanyasam. In this one, she is starting to tell about also in the starting of the Pashuram, the day has basically the early morning has come. So the indication of the very early morning, she is also giving few more indications to the next girl, where she is going and knocking the door of the next girl. Kichi Kishendrangum. That means those birds, when they talk with each other, the sound that comes from the bird, it's kich kich. So that's the noise, or maybe the language with which the birds they talk to each other. She is telling here kich kich. That means that's the sound that comes from the birds when they are talking together. Anai Chatan Kalandu Pesina Pecharavam. Anai Chatan is a kind of sparrow. It's a kind of birds, which is probably it was there in Andal's period. And this is the birds, two birds are sitting in the tree, and they used to tell about the male and the female sparrows, because normally that's the time the male male sparrow, it starts to, the bird starts to go out, looking out for food, while the female stays with all the small ones and then waits. So because the male will return only on the evening. So before going in the early morning, they used to chat with each other. And that is the one she is referring to as the indication that the early morning has come here. Kisi Kisendrengum, Anai Chatan, Kalandu Pesina Pecharavum. They are both together. They are, even each one of those couples are talking to each other, because how is the day is going to be there, and they are going to go and find the food. So these are all the dialogues that the birds are talking, is what that Andal is telling here. Pesina pecharavam kettalayo. So the birds talking is very important, because our Purva Shastras, one of the Adi Shankara's Krantam, Saundarya Lagari, he is referring to the something called as the Pakshi Shastra. That means the birds, what they talk to each other has got certain meanings. Our Shastrams tells about that one. It is not that simply that Andal has taken it out as why she is talking about the birds talking dialogues being referred here. It has got a huge Shastra meaning. The Pakshi Shastram is the one which has been referred into the Purva Granthams, and that is what probably she is here referring to. Even in the olden days, Alvars used to think about birds as one of the messengers to God. Many of the Alvars have sung taking those birds as the messengers, because later in the period, you would also see in the history, we used to use birds as a messenger for the kings, going from one place to another. But in the Alvar Pashurams, we can find it out. The birds are, first of all, their speeches are something very, we talk about all the parrots speaking and so on. No? They repeat whatever we say. But in olden days, they used to use this one as a messenger, because Andal in her Nachiyar Tirumazhi refers, En Kolakiliyai Unnodu Tholamai Pannuvan Kuyile Ulaganadan Varakuvai. When you are able to sing and get Ulaganathan Emperuman, she is telling to that Kuile, then she is telling that one, she will make the parrot as a friend to her. So such a reference to the birds are there in all the Alvash Pasuram. That means the Pakshi Shastram, what it tells is the true one, because they have had a characteristics at that time. And here, she is not just simply referring to the dialogue as a simple dialogue. That means they are all like the devotees, each of the devotees of Emperuman, who talks together each other with them about the greatness of Emperuman. That is the type of peraravam. That means the noise, that the sound that comes out of that one is talking in praise of Emperuman, is what the inner meaning the acharyas used to say. But now we could take it up as the day has come. So she is knocking this second girl, Pesinape Charavam Kettalayo, Pepene. Pay, if you exactly translate, it is not the one. She is so much mad about Emperuman Kannan. So if you are something mad about a specific thing or a specific person, so we used to say that when he is mad about that. And this girl, Andal, has got a great prabhavam and great devotion, and she is the one very near to Kannan. But she is praising another devotee, the girl, Pepenne, you have a great devotion towards Kannan. You are so mad about Kannan. That's what she is calling. In the earlier one, she called it out as a Pillai Irandirai. But now she is referring to a Pepenne. Pepenne means she is giving the glory, and she is praising that other devotee. Even though she is her friend, she is treating here as another devotee of Kannan, and she is praising that Pepenne. That means you have just forgot about everything about this world. You are so much mad only about Emperuman Kannan, such a greatness that you have as a character. So you should now get up. That's what. Now she is telling also what are all things happening in the Ayarpadi. In the early morning, what happened? So she is describing it beautifully. We could imagine what could have been the scene in the Dwapara Yukam, in the Ayarpadi. She says, Kasum Pirappum Kalahalappa Kaivettu Vasanarungural Achier. So all these ladies, they used to wake up very early in the morning in Ayarpadi, in Dwapara Yukam. The reason being that one, only when they wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning or anything, they could start working. They have so much of a milk, so much of a curd. So they have to stir and take butter out of this curd. And if they have to start and finish for the day, they have to start very early in the morning. That much amount of milk and curd were there. So they used to do that stirring. Maybe some of you would have seen that one in your houses when you are having a curd, and then we used to stir with a small stick, and then the butter comes out of that curd. This has been in olden days. Nowadays, we go and buy the butter ready-made. But even in the previous olden days, they used to do with the butter, they will stir. Sorry, with the curd, they will stir, and the butter comes out of that one by stirring that one. And here, if they have to stir, they cannot just keep a small vessel. And here she is describing Mattinal was a padutta. How much of the big vessel they used to do that? No, because each in the front of the street, they will have a huge vessel where the curd will be there. And they used to put a big stirrer. That stirrer is like a big tree, because they cannot put a small one because the vessel is so big. If you have to stir and take the butter out of this curd, and then there will be 3 or 4 ladies on one side, and another side a few ladies, and it is like your tug of war, where they have to, one side they have to pull the rope, the other side has to leave, and then the next they have to do like this. They cannot stir with hand. They have to have a set of people. That's how she is describing. Those ladies will get up early in the morning, and in front of their house, they put all these big vessels and the big stirrer, and then starts to stir. And when you are trying to do, they are all with the richness, because even in the first Pashuram, she says, Ayarpadi, the Gopikas are all with richest look. So even when they are dressed up with so much of the chains, and we call it out as in Tamil as a kasumale. That means it will sound a lot. The one which is the necklace, whatever, that they put it up on their neck, and they will be full of bangles on their hands. So when these ladies are doing that one, these the necklace, as the ornaments are making such a noise, and that is what she says, kasum pirappum kalakalapakkai peethu. So when they are doing it these with their hands, we could hear the sound of those ornaments. Are you not hearing that one? Because this is already early morning, because they started to work. Vasanarungulalachiya, she is telling the beauty of those topikas. They had a very long hair, and it's also smelling very great with good flavor of those. And Mattinal was a padutta ravam kettalayo. They are doing it with mattu. Mattu means it is the biggest stirrer, no? What you are using it as a stick. So here you have to imagine that one. It is a very big vessel which is kept onto the road, and then there's a big stirrer, and there are a set of people on one side, a set of people on the other side. These ladies, they have to do it together. One lady cannot do that one, because such a wealth of milk was there, because of Kannan was living there, the flourishing thing that can happen naturally there in Gopika's time. So here she is telling, Mattinal was a paduttattai raravam kettalayo. Even by stirring that one, you get the noise of this curd which is getting stirred. That noise itself is like a big alarm for us. It is heard in all the houses that they are doing. So she is just telling the glory of how Ayarpadi was there. No, she is just dreaming, and she is telling the messages to us how those things were happening in Ayarpadi in the Dwapara Yukam. And then she is also calling Nayakappan Pillai. So she is giving the, you see that one, how great she is and how humble he is, Andal. She is telling, hey, you are the leader of all our friends, Nayakappan Pillai. So she is giving the crown to a friend, even though she is of the great nature. She is Bhumi Bharati herself, but she doesn't have that one. She is very humble, and she is telling, you are the one, the leader of us. So you have to be getting up. Otherwise, we cannot go and see, because probably the girl inside, hey, why are you calling? You cannot go. She might have told, no, you are the leader of us. You should join us. Nayakappan Pillai. And then she's telling, okay, for what purpose we are going there? And she's again asking, Narayanan Murti Keshavanai Padavam, the next Tirunamam of Emperor Keshavan. Narayanan Murti Keshavan. Keshavan is one of the Tirunamam of Emperor. Out of the 12 Tirunamams, what every day we do the prayers with Emperor, the Keshavan is the first Tirunamam. Keshava Narayana Madhava Govinda. Like that, the Keshava is the first one. It starts. She is referring to the Tirunamam. Now, again, chanting the Tirunamam of Emperor, and then we have to go and get the anugraham and the blessings of Kannan. So Narayanan Murti Keshavanai Padavum. Keshavan is the name of the Tirunamam. Keshavan comes from, there are two reasons Purvacharyas used to say. There was one Rakshasa called Keshi. He was in the form of a horse. Emperor killed him. So the one who killed the Rakshasa Kesi is called as Keshavan. That is a Tirunamam normally used to say. But there is also one of the other meaning that Purvargal used to say, our Acharyas used to say, Ka Ishan. This is the two words you can say. Keshavan is Ka Ishan. Ka is referring to Brahma. Ishan is referring to the Ishwaran, which is Shiva. And with both of them, the one which is in the Antaryami of the Jivatma of both Brahma and Shivan is the one which is Keshavan, who is Emperuman Sriman Narayana, is also the another reason for this particular Tirunamam. But we have to praise the Tirunamam because each Tirunamam has got a name and there is a meaning towards that. So she is referring slowly, she is introducing this and the greatness, and show as if she is telling to the friends, she is telling to us, these are all the great Tirunamam that one should chant. Keshavan Nambiyai Kaalbadippal ennum Ipperana Karul Kandai, Sri is singing it in the Nachya Tirumali. So this is a great Tirunamam. Ni kete gadateo Deshamadayai Thiruvelor Bhavai. So are you going to be inside? We are all going to go and enjoy this Keshavan by chanting this Tirunamam. And such a great anugraham and the great scene that we are going to have by seeing Kannan. Instead of that, are you going to be always inside and sleeping? So she is just asking, please open the door and come and join us. Okay, this is the second friend she is asking to join. This is the meaning of this Pashuram in terms of going there and waking up the second, and she is also giving the glory, and we could imagine how in the Dwapara Yukam, the Iyer party would have been there, and how those ladies in the early morning would be getting up and doing the work, and how rich looking and beautiful looking that they were. And she is giving all those as a description for us through this Pashuram when she is waking up this second friend. But there is one in a very short form, Adian will tell what is the inner meaning of this Pashuram. Andal took the step towards getting together with other devotees and getting to the step of Emperuman. She wants to reach Emperuman Sriman Narayanan, Kannan, but she could have done that in the Sri Vaikuntham. But she shows the way. There are, in the Shastra we have, in the Purvas, they used to explain, there are 6 steps towards reaching towards the lotus feet of Emperuman, even in your devotion level, because even your devotions can be of 7 devotion types and so on. But even to reach towards the God, the procedure with which you are going and reaching the lotus feet of Emperuman, they used to say 6 steps. The 6th step is the greatest step, because even if you are crossing the 5 steps, the 6th is important when you are getting up into that. They used to say, Adian will tell it in a short form because of the timing. They tell the 6 steps as Ishvara Saja Sauhartam, Yadurcha Sudarkham, Vishnu Kataksham, Atvesham, Adimutyam, Sadhu Samahamam. So the last step, what they refer it out as a Sadhu Samahamam, is the one which doing the prayer of Emperuman together with all the devotees. Together, you have to respect the other devotees and equally give the praise on those devotees, because they are all devotees of Sriman Narayanan, and together chanting and with their devotions together. Here we refer to all the devotees also as our Purva Acharyas and who are all living here. So praying to their lotus feet, and then together with them, if you pray towards Emperuman Sriman Narayan is so happy about that. And it is also one of the powerful step to reach towards the Tiruvadi, or the lotus feet of Emperuman, is what our Purvacharyas have written. That is the procedure that Andal is taking. It's a very inner great meaning, because even though the Pashurams are telling the very outer meaning like that, so the main information that we have to gather, or the message that we have to gather here is that we call it out in Tamil as the Bhagavata Sambandham. That means with all the Bhagavata Uttamargal, all the other devotees doing the prayer for Emperuman is the last, the sixth greatest step, which is the last step with which you can attain the lotus feet of Emperuman in a proper way, because Emperuman is very happy when his devotees are happy and they are all praying together. And that is the message Andal took as an essence. That's why she is going to each of the friends. So first friend, she woke up, and in the second friend, now she has woken up, and she is giving the greatest glory of the other devotee. She's not telling that I'm the leader, please come with me and we have to go and pray Kannan. No, no, no. You are the leader. So she is giving the crown to the other devotee. So that's the way our devotion and our respect has to be there for the other devotees, is what the message that Purvacharya describes onto this particular Pashuram. And so this is the way. In the second Pashuram, even she mentioned about the early morning indication and what are all the things that happens in the early morning in Ayurpadi, the greatness of the second friend. And now she has woken up the second friend. So now she has two friends together. Along with her, she's moving towards to the next friend's house, and what are all the things that she does it into the next friend's house, and how she waking up. We will see it in the next Pashuram. Shrimate Ramanujaya Namaha. Alvargal Tiruvadigalе Sharanam, Emperumanar Tiruvadigalе Sharanam, Jiyar Tiruvadigalе Sharanam, Acharya Swami Tiruvadigalе Sharanam.